Welcome back to another episode of Valuable Coins, where we dive deep into the world of numismatics, uncovering the most valuable and unique coins in the market today. If you're a coin enthusiast, collector, or simply interested in the incredible value of rare coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we will explore two of the most fascinating and expensive United States coins currently circulating the auction market. First up, the story behind a humble, yet historically rich coin, the 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark, found in good condition. How much is it worth today? Is it a valuable piece? Let's uncover the truth about this fascinating coin. Let's set the stage. The year was 1934. America was in the midst of the Great Depression. Times were tough, but the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins to keep the economy moving. That year, the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, struck over 219 million Lincoln cents. The obverse, or front, of the coin, you'll see the familiar face of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The date, 1934. Appears to the right of Lincoln's profile, and the absence of a mint mark confirms it was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse design is just as iconic. Two wheat stalks bordering the bold words 1 cent and United States of America with the phrase E pluribus unum above. This wheat ears design was used from 1909 to 1958 and is cherished by coin collectors across the world. 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny, in good condition, or on the coin grading scale, means that while the coin shows significant wear, the main details are still identifiable. Lincoln's head and outline are visible, but most of the finer details are worn flat. The reverse will show heavily worn wheat stalks with minimal detail. Let's talk numbers. What's the value of a 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition in today's market? As of this coin typically sells for $20,000, depending on overall appearance and buyer interest. While not a high-value coin, still a collectible piece of U.S. history worth more than its face value. If your 1934 penny were in better condition, say very fine or mint state, the value could increase significantly. In mint state red condition, the same coin can sell for $100 to $600 or more, especially when professionally graded by companies like PCGs or NGC. Here's a quick but crucial tip. Do not clean your coin. Cleaning can scratch or damage the surface, removing its natural patina and reducing its collector value. Even in worn or dirty condition, it's better to leave it as is. If you own a 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny, store it properly in a coin flip, archival sleeve, or collector album to protect it from further wear and environmental damage for new collectors. The 1934 penny is a great starter coin. It's affordable, easy to find, and packed with historical value. Even in lower grades, it gives you a glimpse into American life during one of its toughest decades. So there you have it, the story and current market value of the 1934 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition. It may not be the most valuable coin out there, but it holds something even more meaningful, a piece of American resilience and history. Next up, where we talk all things numismatics, from hidden gems in your pocket change to historic rarities that sell for big bucks. In today's episode, we're diving into a classic modern coin, the 1983 Washington quarter with D mint mark, featuring a large date and found in fine condition. Could it be worth more than face value? Let's uncover the history, design, and current market value of this fascinating piece. The year was 1983. President Ronald Reagan was in office. The U.S. economy was recovering, and Americans still relied heavily on coins for everyday transactions. It's one of the most common coins in circulation. The Washington quarter, originally introduced in 1932 and in 1983, the Denver Mint struck millions of these quarters for national use. This particular coin bears the D mint mark, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That D tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint, has been producing U.S. coinage since the early 1900s on the obverse or front of the coin. We see the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The inscriptions include Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the left. The year 1983 boldly displayed at the bottom, and the D mint mark just nearby. The reverse design features a powerful bald eagle, wings spread, standing atop a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below a classic symbol of strength and peace. This design served the country for over 65 years, up until 1999 when the 50 state quarters were introduced. Let's clear up a common misconception. The 1983D quarter is not made of silver. Only quarters struck before 1965 contain 90% silver. This one is made from copper nickel clad. That's a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of nickel. So, it holds no precious metal value, but it may still be worth something. To collectors, when we say a coin is in fine F condition, we mean it has been circulated and shows moderate wear. Washington's features are worn but clear. The eagle on the back has noticeable flattening, especially on the chest and wings, but the overall design is still visible. So, what is a 1983D Washington quarter in fine condition worth in today's auction market? As of 2025, most coins in this grade sell for about 30 cents to $1, depending on the buyer and demand. While it's not rare, collectors often seek this date because of a surprising twist. Here's a key detail. In 1982 and 1983, the U.S. Mint did not produce official mint sets. That means high-quality examples from these years are harder to find because most were heavily circulated. Even average condition coins from these years are more desirable than other modern quarters. If your 1983D quarter was in extra fine XF or about uncirculated O condition, you could expect between $10 to $30. And in mint state, especially certified examples, values can reach $100 to $300 or more, especially if they show no wear and retain original mint luster. And don't forget, error coins from this year can be valuable. Look out for off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies. These kinds of mint errors can boost value dramatically, sometimes into the double or triple digits, depending on rarity. Next up, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S Mint mark from San Francisco, found in what collectors call dirty condition. What does that mean for its value, and how does this coin fit into the rich tapestry of U.S. coinage? Let's find out. 1949 was a time of recovery and growth for America. The San Francisco Mint, symbolized by the S Mint mark on coins, produced over 145 million Lincoln Wheat pennies that year. These pennies circulated widely, becoming part of everyday American life. On the front, or obverse, you'll see President Abraham Lincoln's profile, designed by Victor D. Brenner in 1909, though dirt and grime may hide some finer details. The date 1949 and the mint mark S remain visible, confirming its San Francisco origin. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears design, flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America above. The motto E pluribus unum reminds us of America's unity. When collectors say a coin is in dirty condition, they mean it has surface dirt, tarnish, or discoloration due to age and exposure. While this affects appearance, it doesn't necessarily mean the coin is damaged. Important tip: never aggressively clean your coins. Harsh cleaning can scratch or harm the coin surface, drastically reducing its value. Original dirt and patina are often preferred by collectors as signs of authenticity. 1949S penny in dirty condition usually grades between good and fine, depending on where and how much detail is obscured by grime. Even with dirt, the overall shape and important features remain identifiable. So, what is the market value of a 1949's Lincoln Wheat penny in dirty condition today? As of 2025, these coins typically sell for about $15,000, depending on overall condition, buyer interest, and whether the dirt affects key details. Of course, coins in very fine or uncirculated condition can command much higher prices, from $200 to $450 or more, especially if certified by professional grading services like PCGs or NGC if you own a 1949's penny. Even in dirty condition, protect it by storing it in proper holders or albums. This prevents further damage and helps maintain its current value. Next up, we're diving into the story behind the 1990 Washington quarter dollar with the P Mint mark. Featuring a large date and found in very fine condition. Is it silver? Is it rare? And most importantly, what's it worth in today's market? Let's find out. The year was 1990, a time before smartphones, when coins still played a huge role in everyday life. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters that year, but not all are created equal. Today, we're focusing on the version from the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, and how it holds up today. If you see a small P mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side of the coin, it means it was minted. At the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the United States, the obverse, or front, features the classic bust of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. The word Liberty is at the top. In God We Trust is on the left, and the year 1990, shown in a bold, large font, appears at the bottom. The reverse features the familiar image of the bald eagle, wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. This iconic image was used on quarters from 1932 until the introduction of the 50-state quarters in 1999. Let's address a common misconception. Is the 1990 Washington quarter made of silver? The answer is no. Quarters minted after 1964 are made of copper-nickel clad, not 90% silver. So unless you have a special proof version from the U.S. Mint, your 1990 quarter has no silver content. A quarter in very fine VF condition shows light to moderate wear. You'll still see most of the major details. Washington's hairline is partially visible, and the eagle's wings on the reverse retain some texture, though slightly worn down. It's a solid mid-grade coin for collectors. So what's the value of a 1990 Washington quarter in very fine condition as of 2025? These coins usually sell for around 30 cents to $1 in online auctions or collector marketplaces. While that's not a fortune, still more than its face value, especially for a circulated modern coin. If you had the same coin in extra fine XF or about uncirculated O condition, you might expect between $1 to $2 in mint state MS63 and above. Especially if graded by PCGs or NGC, prices can range from $5 to $15 or higher for top quality specimens. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Errors. While there are no widely known major errors for the 1990 quarter, you might find off-center strikes, die breaks, or doubled dies. These minting mistakes can drastically boost value, sometimes up to $50 or more, depending on rarity and condition. Even in circulated or dirty condition, your quarter is still worth preserving. Use 2x2 flips, airtight capsules, or coin albums to keep it safe. And never clean your coin. Even a dirty coin is more valuable untouched than one that's been polished. Next up today, we're taking a close look at a coin that's nearly a century old, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, found in very fine condition. What makes this coin so special, and what is its value in today's market? Let's dive in. The year was 1940. The United States was still recovering from the Great Depression, and World War II was just beginning in Europe. While America had not yet entered the war, the country was gearing up, and so was the U.S. Mint. Producing coins for everyday commerce, this 1940 penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 586 million Lincoln wheat. Pennies, one of the highest mintages in the series. The front of the coin, the obverse, you'll find the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. The date 1940 appears just to the right, and the absence of a mint mark tells us it came from Philadelphia. The reverse of the coin features the wheat ears designed with 1 cent and United States of America framed by 2 stylized wheat stalks. The Latin phrase e pluribus unum appears at the top. This iconic design was used from 1909 until 1958 and remains a favorite among collectors. So, what does very fine condition mean, according to the Sheldon Coin Grading Scale? A coin in very fine condition, typically graded VF22, VF35, has moderate wear on the high points but retains strong detail. Lincoln's hair and cheekbones will still be visible, and the wheat lines on the reverse are sharp and defined, though slightly worn if your 1940 penny has that natural aging or light toning. That's actually a good sign. Do not clean the coin collector's value original surfaces, and cleaning can ruin a coin's finish and lower its market value significantly. Now, let's talk about value. As of 2025, a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition is typically valued between 30 cents to 75 cents. While not considered rare, it still holds collectible value, especially as part of a full Lincoln cent set if your coin were in uncirculated or mint state. The value could rise significantly with prices ranging from $30 to $150 or more, especially for examples with full red luster and no blemishes to preserve your 1940 wheat penny. Even in very fine condition, make sure to store it in a cardboard flip, coin album, or airtight capsule. Proper storage helps protect it from moisture, dust, and handling damage for new collectors. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is an ideal piece to start with. It's affordable, widely available, and packed with history. Whether you found it in a family coin jar or purchased it from a dealer, this coin is a window into America's past. Today, we'll be taking a detailed look at the 1974 large-date Washington quarter dollar without mint mark, found in extra fine condition. What's it made of? Is it silver? And how much is it worth in today's market? Let's find out. The year was 1974. America was going through significant political and economic change. Inflation was high, coins were widely used in daily commerce, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of quarters for the growing economy. One of the most common yet collectible coins from this period is the Washington quarter. The quarter we're talking about today has no mint mark, which means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, unlike coins from Denver D or San Francisco S. Coins minted in Philadelphia before the 1980s typically had no identifying mark on the obverse. You'll see the legendary bust of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932 to honor the first president's 200th birthday. The inscription "Liberty rests above, in God we trust" appears to the left, and the year 1974 is displayed at the bottom. The reverse side of the coin features a proud bald eagle with its wings spread, perched atop a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. This long-standing design reflects America's strength and readiness, paired with its peaceful intentions. A common question collectors ask is the 1974 quarter made of silver? The answer is no. All Washington quarters made from 1965 onward are made from copper-nickel-clad composition, a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of nickel. So there's no silver content in a regular 1974 quarter. Let's talk about condition. A coin in extra fine XF condition has light wear on the high points, but most of the design details are still sharp and clear. Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers will show minimal flattening, and the rims will be intact with strong definition. You may have heard the term large date. While the 1974 quarter doesn't have an officially recognized small date variety, like other coins, such as Lincoln cents. Collectors sometimes use this term to describe the bold, thick date style on certain strikes from the Philadelphia Mint. So, what's the value of a 1974 Washington quarter without a mint mark? In extra fine condition, as of most examples in this grade sell for around 50 cents to $1.50 in today's auction market. While this isn't a rare coin, its condition and historical context make it a nice collectible keep in mind. If your 1974 quarter has a mint error, like a double die, off-center, strike, or clipped planchette, it could be worth significantly more. Some error coins from the 1970s have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction to keep your coin in top shape. Always store it in a coin holder, cardboard flip, or capsule. And remember, never clean your coins. Even a dirty coin is more valuable in original condition than one that's been scrubbed. Next up, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark, found in fine condition. In this video, we'll explore its backstory, design features, and what it's worth in today's market. Stick around, you might be holding one of these in your collection. Without knowing its true value, the year was 1956. America was booming in the post-war era. Elvis Presley topped the charts. The interstate highway system had just begun, and everyday purchases were made with coins like the Lincoln Wheat penny. That year, the Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark, struck over 1 billion Lincoln pennies, one of the highest mintages in the entire wheat penny series. The Denver Mint, located in Colorado, had become a major player in U.S. coin production. The D mint mark stamped just below the date on the Lincoln cent indicates its origin. On the obverse or front of the coin, you'll find the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner in 1909 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. To the right of Lincoln is the year 1956, and just below it, the small letter D, signifying the Denver Mint. The reverse features the classic wheat ears, designed to stalks of wheat flanking the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above them is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many. 1. This design was in use from 1909 through 1958, and it remains a favorite among collectors. Now let's talk condition. A 1956D penny in fine condition, or F12 on the Sheldon grading scale, shows moderate wear. Lincoln's profile is well defined, though the finer details in his hair and beard may be worn. On the reverse, the wheat stalks are visible, but somewhat smooth. Overall, it's a well-circulated coin that still maintains a good amount of its original details. So how much is a 1956D Lincoln Wheat penny in fine condition worth today's off? These coins typically sell for around $10,000, depending on the overall eye appeal, color, and demand among collectors, while a fine condition coin holds modest value. Examples in higher grades like extra fine XF40 or mint state MS60 and above can range anywhere from $65 to $90 or more. In brilliant, red, uncirculated condition, prices may reach $100 to $200, especially if graded by services like PCGs or NGC. Or at NGC, a quick but important tip: do not clean your coin. Even if your penny looks dirty or dull, cleaning it can scratch the surface, strip away its patina, and lower its market value. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state. Regardless of where to preserve your 1956D penny, even in circulated condition, use a cardboard coin flip, a plastic sleeve, or a coin album. Good storage practices protect your coin from further damage and ensure it retains its value. Next up, if you've ever wondered whether the coins jingling in your pocket could be worth more than face value, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're taking a close look at the 1980 Washington quarter dollar, specifically the one with P mint mark, a large date, and in good condition. Is it made of silver? Could it be rare? And how much is it worth in today's coin auction market? Let's dive in and find out. The year was 1980. The U.S. was facing high inflation. The Cold War was still underway, and American wallets were full of physical cash, especially coins. In that year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, with many struck at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P mint mark. Located just beside George Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin tells us this. Quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest elliptics and most important coin-producing facilities in the country. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the familiar portrait of George Washington, facing left, a design created by John Flanagan and first introduced in 1932. You'll see the word Liberty across the top, In God We Trust on the left, and the date 1980 boldly stamped along the bottom. To the right of the neck, we find that small yet important P mint mark. The reverse displays a proud bald eagle, wings spread wide, standing on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength, with olive branches below to represent peace. This design is classic and was in use until the state quarter program began in 1999. Now, let's answer the big question, is the 1980 Washington quarter made of silver? The answer is no. Regular circulation quarters struck after 1964 are made of copper nickel clad, not silver. That means there is no silver content in this 1980 quarter. Let's talk about condition. A coin in good G condition has seen heavy circulation. The details? On Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers may be flat or worn smooth, but the design is still fully visible. It's a basic, well-used coin, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. So, how much is a 1980p Washington quarter in good condition worth in today's auction market? Most of these coins sell for around 25 cents to $1, depending on demand and the buyer. If you find one in bulk lots or online marketplaces like eBay or coin forums, they're usually sold close to face value. Here's where it gets interesting. Some 1980p quarters have been found with mint errors, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, or even broad strikes where the coin wasn't struck correctly. These can sell for $20, $50, or even more, depending on the error type and eye appeal. So check your coin closely with a magnifier. There could be more than meets the eye if you plan to keep your 1980p quarter for collecting purposes. It's a good idea to store it properly. Use a 2x2 cardboard flip, coin capsule, or an archival quality album, and always handle coins by the edges to avoid adding more wear. Next video is all about a coin that's both common and collectible, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, found in what many would describe as dirty condition. Is this coin still valuable? Should you clean it? And what is its true worth in today's coin market? Let's dig into its history, its features, and most importantly, its value. The year was 1945, a monumental year in world history. World War II had just ended. The United States was transitioning from war to peace, and the economy was on the verge of transformation. During this time, millions of coins were produced to support everyday commerce, including the Lincoln wheat penny. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at the time, struck over 1 billion Lincoln cents in 1945. That makes the 1945 no dash mint dash mark penny one of the more commonly found coins in circulation today. But don't be too quick to dismiss it. Even common coins can be collectible and valuable, depending on their condition and characteristics. On the front, or obverse, of the coin, you'll see the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor D. Brenner in 1909. To the right, the date 1945 is clearly stamped, and underneath, you'll notice the absence of a mint mark, confirming it was struck in Philadelphia. The reverse displays the classic wheat ears designed to stalks of wheat flanking the denomination 1 cent, and the inscription United States of America at the top is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many. 1. Now let's address the dirty condition. A coin in dirty condition often has surface grime, oxidation, or discoloration from decades of circulation and storage. It may look unattractive, but here's something important. Do not clean your coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value, sometimes permanently. Collectors actually prefer coins with original, untouched surfaces, dirt and allen terms of grading. A 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition usually falls somewhere between good G4 and fine F12, depending on wear. Even with dirt, as long as the details like Lincoln's outline, the date, and the wheat stalks are visible, it retains some collectible values. So what's it worth as of 2025? A 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty or heavily circulated condition typically sells for 5 to 15 cents. Yes, it's not rare, but it's still worth more than face value, and for beginner collectors. That's a solid starting point now. If you had a 1945 wheat penny in mint state condition, especially one with original red luster, it could be worth $50 to $250, depending on its grade and eye appeal. Certified coins graded by PCGS or NGC can fetch even more in top condition if you own a 1945 Lincoln penny. Even in dirty condition, it's best to store it properly in a 2x2 coin flip, a coin album, or an airtight capsule. Protecting your coin from further wear will help retain its collectible value. For those just starting out, collecting Lincoln wheat pennies is a fantastic and affordable way to get into numismatics. The 1945 penny represents a time of hope and renewal in American history, making it not only a coin, but a piece of the past you can hold in your hands. There you have it, the story and current market value of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition. It may not be a rare coin, but it's a great reminder of how even the most modest pieces of pocket change can carry incredible stories from our nation's past. Next up, your one-stop destination for discovering the hidden history and value of everyday coins. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a very common, yet often misunderstood coin, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar. With a large date, no mint mark, and found in dirty condition. Could it be silver? Is it worth more than face value? And what do collectors pay for it at auction today? Let's break it all down. The year was 1967, a time of major political and social change in the United States. People were using coins every day, and the mint was producing millions of them to meet the demand. The quarter we're discussing today, the 1967 Washington quarter, is part of that story. If you take a close look at the coin, you'll notice there's no mint mark. That's because in 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint temporarily removed all mint marks from circulating coins. Why? To discourage collectors from hoarding coins during the national coin shortage. So even though this quarter was likely minted in Philadelphia or Denver, it won't show a letter. On the obverse or front of the coin, we see the proud bust of George Washington, a design by John Flanagan introduced in 1932. You'll find Liberty across the top, In God We Trust on the left, and the large date, 1967, boldly struck along the bottom. Turn it over, and the reverse features the classic American bald eagle, wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. It's a symbol of America's strength and its hope for peace, a design that stayed in use for over 65 years. Now, this particular 1967 quarter is in what collectors might call a dirty condition, meaning it's been heavily circulated, picked up grime and discoloration over the years, and shows visible signs of wear. While it may not be attractive to the eye, it still holds value to the right person, especially if you know what to look for. One of the most common questions is the 1967 quarter made of silver? The answer is no. Starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver for circulating quarters. The 1967 quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, a copper core layered with nickel, so it holds no intrinsic silver value. In terms of coin grading, a 1967 quarter in dirty condition likely falls between good G and about good H. The major design elements are visible, but there's considerable wear and little to no fine detail. A coin like this has clearly been in circulation for decades, so what's it worth? As of 2025, a 1967 large date quarter with no mint mark in dirty or heavily worn condition typically sells in auctions for 25 cents to $1, slightly above face value if someone is completing a set or looking for bulk coins. But here's the catch: in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value goes up. A 1967 quarter in mint state MS63 or higher can sell for $5 to $15 or more if certified by PCGS or NGC. Top-grade specimens, MS67 and beyond, have sold for $150 to $500 at high-end auctions. And now for something exciting: mint airs. Some 1967 quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, double dies, or even missing clad layers, revealing the copper core underneath. These era coins can sell from $25 to over $300 depending on the severity and visibility of the mistake. If you plan to hold on to your 1967 quarter, even in its dirty state, consider storing it properly. A coin flip, plastic capsule, or labeled album slot will protect it from further corrosion and help preserve its historical value. Believe it or not, coins like the 1967 quarter are important for building complete sets. If you're working on a full Washington quarter album, this year is a must-have, especially because it was part of the mint's no-mark era. It tells a very specific story in U.S. coinage history, and that wraps up our deep dive into the 1967 large date Washington quarter, without a mint mark, in dirty condition. While it may not be a treasure chest item, still holds its place in numismatic history, and in today's market, it's a small but valuable piece for budget collectors. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another episode. We're bringing you real coin info, real values, and real collecting tips.